Good day everyone, I am Iris Booc, your instructor for today. Today we will going to discuss the movement elements. But before we will going to discuss the movement element, let me introduce to you first the four concepts of movement that will help us understand and widen our knowledge in order for us to understand what is movement element. What are the movement elements? So we do have four. First is the body, second is the space, third is the effort, and lastly, the relationship. Each concept are categorized. Under the body, we have the body parts, body shapes, action of the body parts, and action of the whole body. It's either non-locomotor, locomotor, or manipulative. The categories of the second concept, which is the space, are location, direction, level, pathway, plane, and extension. For the third concept, which is the effort, it includes time, force, flow, and focus. For the last concept, the relationship, includes people, position, goal, environment, and timing. It's either simultaneous, alternate, or successive. To widen our knowledge about the movement elements, let's specify the categories and subcategories of each concept. For the body, we have its category body parts, which is consist of head, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, shoulders, knees, and toes. For the body shapes, the elements may be narrow, wide, round, twisted, symmetrical, and asymmetrical. Another category is actions of the body parts. Its elements are weight bearing, receive force or weight, apply force, lead the action, and weight transfer. When we say weight bearing, by just standing like this, our feet is bearing the weight of our body. The next element is receiving force or weight. When someone throws something on you with force and weight, it is already considered as receiving force or weight, like this. That's the example of receiving force or weight. The next element is applying force. For example, pushing a chair. So by pushing it, you are applying force. The next element is leading the action. An example of this is diving. As we dive, we usually put our hands up like this. Our hand serves as a guide of our body as we go to a certain direction. Another element is weight transfer. An example of this is walking. Okay, as I stand like this, my feet bears the weight of my body. As I step, the weight will transfer to the foot that I step forward, and vice versa. And that concludes the elements of the action of the body part. So let's proceed to the actions of the whole body. As I said earlier, we have non-locomotor, locomotor, and manipulative movements. So let's focus first to the non-locomotor. The first element under non-locomotor is the stretch. Stretch is the extension of our body. So like this. Extension. The next element is the curl. Curl involves some type of flexion or bending at the joints. So like this. That is what we call curl. Flexing our elbow. Next is the twist. When we say twist, it is all about facing to another direction. For example, facing to the right or facing to the left. But our base will stay put. I'm going to demo it. So, like that. Like that. That is what we call twist. Another element is the turn. When we say turn, it is all about facing to a new direction using our base or our feet. So like this. Like that. That is what we call turn. Another element is the spin. When we say spin, it is like a toy top around the central axis. So like this. That is what we call spin. Another element is swing. An example of this is moving our hand back and forth. So like this. This is what we call swing. Next is pushing and pulling. When we say push, it is all about exerting force away from the body. Like this. Like that. That is push. While pull is all about bringing the resistance toward the body. Like this. Again, push. And this is pull. Another element of movement under non-locomotor is rise and sink. When we say rise, it is all about elevating our body by tiptoeing, like this. Like this. That is rise. Then, sink. It is all about, our example of sink is bending our knees, like this. Again, this is rise, and this is sink. Next is the gesture. So when we say gesture, when we say gesture, it refers to a feeling or mood expression using movement as well as to a movement made when attempting to maintain balance. So an example of gesture is like this, thumbs up. This is an example of gesture. Another element is the dodge. Dodge is all about shifting our body to avoid something. For example, like this. Like that. Another element is the balance. When we say balance, it is all about maintaining equilibrium. So like this. Next element is the counterbalance. When we say counterbalance, it is all about applying force to someone or something in order to keep the balance or in order to keep balance. Like this. Like this. Like that. The last element under non-locomotor movement is the counter tension. Counter tension is all about reversing the direction of the force application. So example is this. Okay. That. Now let's proceed to the locomotor skills. So as we all know, locomotor is all about moving our body from one place to another. Walk is all about alternate stepping action with arm leg opposite in the sagittal plane. So, like this. Like that. Element under locomotor skill is the cartwheel. Cartwheel is the alternation of hand and foot in the frontal plane. So this is the cartwheel. The next element under locomotor skill is the crawl. Crawl is all about alternating right and left side ipsilateral arm-leg movement. So like this. The next element under locomotor skill is the bear walk. Bear walk is all about walking on hands and feet with the belly facing the ground, like that. Next element under locomotor skill is the crab walk. When we say crab walk, it is all about walking on hands and feet with buttocks facing the ground. It can be performed whether run, leap, hop, skip, jump, galoop, and slide. Another subcategory under the actions of the whole body is the manipulative skill. Manipulative skills, also known as object control skills, are actions that involve controlling objects or piece of equipment such as ball, bat, or rocket. These are the elements under the manipulative skills. Throw is the use of the hand to release an object, sending it into the air. Next is the roll, the kick. Third is the strike. Then roll, volley, a catch, trap, dribble, and even carry. Let's proceed to the next concept, the space. As what I've said earlier, the categories of space are location, direction, level, pathway, plane, and extension. So let's focus first to the movement elements of location. Movement elements of location are self-space and general space. When we say self-space, it is all about the space that surrounds a person, or like this. This is what we call self-space. While general space, example of it is the gymnasium. Next category under the concept space is the direction. Its movement elements are forward, backward, sideways, up, down, clockwise, and counterclockwise. Next category is the level. When we say level, its movement elements are low, medium, or high. Next category is the pathway. When we say pathway, it is the movement elements of pathway are straight, curved, and zigzag. Next category is the plane, and its movement elements are sagittal, frontal, and transverse. And last category under the space is the extension, and its movement elements are small and large. Let's proceed to the next concept, the effort. Under the effort, we have these categories: the time, force, flow, and focus. So let us know the movement elements of each category. So first, time. The movement elements of time are fast, slow, and accelerate or acceleration. Next category is the force, and its movement elements are hard and soft. Next category is the flow, and its movement elements are bound and free. For the last category under the effort is the focus, and its movement elements are direct and indirect. Let's proceed to the last concept, which is the relationship. Under the relationship, as what I've said earlier, we do have 5 categories: people, position, timing, goal, and environment. So let's begin to the first category under the relationship, which is the people. The movement elements are solo, alone in a mass, partners, even groups, uneven groups, individual to group to group, triangle, circle, square, scattered, spokes of a wheel, and X. The next category under the concept relationship is the position. The movement elements of position are above or below, over or under, inverted, mount or dismount, in front or behind, beside, alongside, through, surround, around, support or supported, lift or lifted, meet or port, and near to or far from. The next category is the timing. Timing has or have subcategories: the simultaneous, alternate, and successive. The movement elements of simultaneous are mirror, match, contrast, and unison. Next is the alternate. We only have one movement element of alternate. It is the take turns. Last subcategory of timing is the successive. Its movement elements are movement sequence, canon, question or answer, act or react, and lead or follow. The next category under the relationship is the goal. Its movement elements are cooperative, collaborative, and competitive. And last category under the relationship is the environment. Its movement elements are static and dynamic. And that is all the movement elements of the 4 concepts. Again, I am Iris Booc. Thank you for watching.